service to make. So without further ado, I'll introduce Dan and you can introduce the guest that we have taken. All right. Hey, good morning. Good morning. This is Dan West, and he's our head coach for basketball. That's Camdenton Basketball. And I'm a part-time coach. I'm full-time during the season, but part-time during the day, because I'm still working a little bit. But we just wanted to talk a little bit about the basketball program at Camdenton and answer any questions you might have and tell you kind of what he wants. This is his second full year as head coach. He's local he's been here forever, and he wants to make this program that we can all be proud of. And I can tell you, it's a difficult task. I've been helping about this. I guess this will be my 7th year that I help this year that we start, and it's tough because sports at the lake are kind of difficult because everybody works during the summer. We can get the guys all together and try to get some cohesiveness going and all. But Daniel set high standards for the young men. We lost a couple this year. They didn't want to have standards. They just wanted to kind of do their own thing. But I think we've got a lot of kids that are coming back now that are underclassmen that are bought in that, hey, I want to be coached. I want to be coached hard, and I want to play hard. So, Daniel, we can just let you talk a little bit about what you want to do with the program and how you want to see it advance and get to that state championship.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know I was exactly speaking, but I'm happy to be here. Appreciate the opportunity. They don't let me in on that part, but that's all right. Yeah, so Daniel, I've been around here forever. Like Coach said, my family's been around. I look around, see some familiar faces. My family's own businesses around here. My family's went through Camdenton and everything like that. So this is home to me. I didn't have to go far to find out where I wanted to be. We built a house out on South 5, so I'm here. I think that's something that Camdenton's missed in basketball, especially for a lot of years, is just consistency. And that's a promise that I know I'm going to bring, and I've already told my guys I'll be coaching their grandkids here in 25, 30 years. So I'm here to do it. I know the challenge. I don't know the answer, but I know the challenge about playing basketball successfully at a high level in the district and in the conference that we always play in. And so we're moving conferences this year. We're not going to be in the Ozark Conference with Springfield schools anymore. West Plains and Lebanon and Raleigh. So those rivalries are kind of, I'm not going to say they're gone, but they're slowly diminishing. And now we're starting back up with Jeff City and Columbia. So people that I'm familiar playing against whenever I play here, but for the kids that are playing right now, it's going to look a little different. With that being said, as Coach mentioned, this year was kind of a tough year, and I think it's just a transition time where students, maybe teachers, maybe parents have to realize that there are some differences in coaching opportunities or coaching approaches. I understand the lake. I've been a 4-sport athlete and still work during the summer, so I know that's a very liable excuse, but I'm trying not to buy that. What Coach is saying is our buy-in during the summer is not great as far as consistently showing up, consistently putting the work in, and that's where we need to step in. I think it's easy to always put it on the kids, but we've got to do something better to get them in there for us if that's really the product that we're trying to put out. And I think that's the step forward that we're trying to take. We don't have any Division I scouts or kids that are being scouted by Division I. We don't have any 6'9" kids. We don't have any kids that are running up and down the floor hitting threes. So
we're looking for 6'9" kids.
Yeah. International students or whatever you guys want to house those, we'll be more than happy to take them under our wing. But any questions you guys have, I'm more than willing to answer. I'm a local business owner here as well. I've owned a landscaping business for the last 4 or 5 years. I'm a local. I'm not a big time out of town right now.
So the summer jobs being a conflict with practice, do we have enough of a connection with those businesses that maybe they would allow the athletes to their schedule so they could meet practice schedules and still be their dogs?
But I'm gonna be real honest, I think it's an excuse for the kids not to have practice. Cause I put out schedules long in advance where they can take it to their employer and say, hey, these are the dates that sometimes just, I think basketball is more just something that they wanna do for fun. And I'm not trying to make it a job, but we don't wanna go 3 and 25 every single year as well, so. It's that balance that's the hardest part for us so far. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I know you can't wait till the high school to create the culture.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
So this year, the Ozark Youth League that has been running for a while, it folded, and so I picked up and started a new youth league called the Lake Area Basketball League. So I got a board together, we got 8 or 9 people that are on that, involved with the school, people that aren't involved with the school. And we have reconstructed and built that youth league. For this year, it was just a recreation league. Our goal for next year is to pull from that recreation league and start having traveling teams come out and go around playing more basketball. I think the #1 key is playing more basketball. If we want to get better, we got to play. By the time we get them in high school, we're still teaching basketball rather than playing schematically or strategically. And that's our biggest thing.
What do you think about the conference change?
I don't know what to think. As far as the rivalry aspect, me playing here, I love playing against the Lebanon, the Waynesvilles. It's not going to be any simpler by any means. So it's not like we're looking to move conferences to get more victories, and that's for all sports. I'm up for the challenge. That's about all I can say. Yes.
I think we looked at Columbia and Jeff City, and then us and Sedalia. This year, Columbia and Jeff City were almost all underclassmen, and they had a lot of success. So it's not gonna be any different than Springfield in a lot of ways. We're not gonna go and just have easy games in our conference. They're gonna be difficult. But you know, it's gonna be, I think it'll be good. I think it'll get us, our kids will just have to understand that not just in basketball, in volleyball and football, baseball, soccer, all those different leagues, we're gonna be playing once again against the kids that, hey, the only thing I do is play soccer, hey, the only thing I do is play basketball or whatever, so it's gonna be a real challenge and gonna be difficult, and at the same time, you know, we had it that way in Springfield as well. So I guess we'll have a lot more opportunities to drive to Columbia.
That's going to be the main difference. Is a lot less travel. They don't have to go to West Plains. Raw is kind of an outlier, but Sedalia will be our first trip. Yes, sir.
I know I hear on the radio all the time, but I can never understand what was Camdenton's record this year in basketball?
We were 5-21. Yeah, 5-21. 5 wins, 21 losses. It was a struggle of a year. I had 2 freshmen that were starting varsity for me from the middle of the season, which is fine if they're amazing players and they're great. But if they were at Kickapoo or if they were at Jeff City, they'd be on the freshman team. But
In the whole game to get a lot of people turn out.
not necessarily. And success brings attendance. But last year we were 14-14. I had 10 seniors on the team. We started to get a little bit more. We won 9 games straight to start the season. Everybody's like, "Holy cow, coach is amazing!" No, it wasn't necessarily that. But then we got into conference play and things kind of changed. But we're just trying to build success throughout the summer, the spring, and get the guys successful first, and then we can start promoting ourselves.
Yeah. What's the team look like next year? Last one.
Yeah, well, so this, give you a recap, at the beginning of this season, my best point guard that had, in my opinion, our best point guard that we had coming back as a junior, did a foreign exchange student program down in Mexico, so right off the bat, I didn't have them. The Dermans are fantastic athletes. One of their youngest son, Carson, was going to be a major contributor for us to put out his knee in football, missed all basketball season and all baseball season. And then I had my six, seven kid, not committed at all, ended up quitting at the end of the season. So I went into the year with 2 guys that have never even stepped foot on the varsity floor. Now we go into next year. The guard that I was talking about, his brother, one of his brothers was a freshman that I started this year. They're moving back to Bolivar. So I'm losing 2 of my starting point guards, major contributors, but more importantly, just locker room guys, great character, fantastic human beings. They're going back to Bolivar, so I'm missing them. I'll have a sophomore that'll start, and then from there, I've got some juniors that will be seniors that hopefully will step up. So I don't know, with the conference change and where we're at, this group, as Coach said, is way more committed than I've had last year. But I do think they'll be more valuable. But as far as immediate basketball success, I don't know that it'll happen this year.
JV last year, we were just over 500, I think,
Yeah.
on the JV level, so, you know, we'll have, and some of them were juniors, so they'll be seniors this year, and so we had a little bit of success at JV level. We were just under 500 on the track.
Yeah, 2 games.
Yeah, so,
We'll have more experience starting the year, so that's a very big positive.
you know, I think we'll be a little bit more experienced than we were this year to start.
How many seniors up? If everybody comes out, I'll have 5 seniors.
Okay, so some leadership.
Yeah,
That's great.
and solid leadership that I can actually rely on, yes.
Is there a way you can go to the other big colleges and find some motivational speakers through their program to come to Camdenton to talk to the players on how to improve and motivation and just what you want to do?
Yeah, that's a very good suggestion. I've reached out before to, I had Sean Hill come talk, Jason came talk before, Kathy Eidson, who's the director of FCA for our area, she comes and talks. I've never reached out to colleges specifically, but they probably do.
Well, I mean, you know,
Right.
you got Missouri, you got, you know, the one in Springfield, you know,
Absolutely. Sorry,
and then, you know, that maybe some players or coaches can inspire
right.
some of your freshmen and sophomore and junior players to step up and.
Yeah, absolutely. Paxton DeLorean, I caught him working out during, I think it was winter break.
Yeah.
I had him come talk just about locker room and just the atmosphere that we're trying to really stress a player-led team rather than just strictly a coach-led team. Meaning that everything I say, they don't absorb, but if it's peer-to-peer, usually the accountability is a little bit more. And that's what we asked Paxton to kind of talk about, who's now having a great career down in southeastern Missouri State. And so, I don't know, I hope it was influential. I know when I was 15, 16-year-old, sometime I went in one year out the other, but.
And I think we've got some things that we can do, like, to that. We got Camdenton that went to Wichita State, he's having a decent freshman year, and he can maybe come back and talk to the kids. I saw he got his first home run in college baseball, last weekend, and so, you know, we've got some things where we talk about, what it takes, and, you know, he really knows. We know Cam, because he played for us last year and hadn't played for 2 seasons, and, you know, he knows what it takes to be a real D1 athlete, because he just put his nose in the grindstone and made himself a ball. So that'd be one thing to talk about.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir. How much, back to your, efforts for summer, practice, how much can you actually skip? It's on that, what you get.
There are extreme limits. We can only have 20 contact days as a whole program via MISHA. That's their mandate. So what I did not do well my first year, and I guess I just didn't really know about it, is getting more creative with how guys can go practice and not have me there. So relying on, and that's another, I don't know, I guess it's my program. I don't want somebody else in there trying to run it, but I might be able to rely on some dads that I really trust to go in there and put them through a workout. But at the same time, that's something you got to try to balance. So 20 contact days. So if we come in and watch film, that's one day. So we've got to maximize our opportunities to where I've even thought about maybe having 2 days during the summer. So we're getting all kinds of practice. But then I don't wanna teeter on, are they gonna get burnt out, they don't wanna play, it's a tough battle, I don't have all the answers, but we're limited to 20 contact days.
Yeah, but
Camps, every contact day, so.
So it's okay would be one contact?
Yes, yeah, because within that one day. So when we go to a team camp in Rolla, we'll have a float trip day, we'll have a day where we play basketball, a day where we have like an ice cream social, there's 3 days going, so. That part's extremely challenging, I don't remember ever having that as an athlete whenever I played at Camden, but
It's all pretty good.
yeah.
So the football team will have summer stuff too. You just coordinate with that coach about their schedule as well.
I do my very best, I've articulated the whole schedule to where we're not conflicting with anything, and that's tough because you still have soccer, you still have every fall sport or anything else that I'm competing with, so.
yeah, that was my next question, guys, are you competing with the other sports for the athletes?
But
Sometimes,
And I think Daniel really understands that because he played 4 sports. And, so we're not just looking for guys that are basketball, we're not asking for them. You always probably want a couple because those kids can kind of help drive everything that you have. But, most colleges are looking for people that are 3-sport athletes. So that's what we want to do. We don't want them just to be ball players, we want them to be good teammates and that can make a big difference. Especially, maybe you have one, like I said, keep praying for that 6'9" kid. But I'll tell you guys a quick story. We went up to the 5A state championship and I talked to one of my friends that's about 3 years older than me, so he's almost 70. But he said, hey, see that 7'3" kid down there on that team? I said, yeah. And he's a sophomore. I said, he said, you know how he got here? He said he put himself on TikTok or Facebook. He was from Africa. He was 7 foot at the time, 14 years old, and said he wanted to be a basketball player. Somebody saw it, this, that, and the other. Some family from St. Louis got in touch with him, brought him in, and now he was at, we were watching Vianney. Yeah, he was at Vianney, and that's how he got here. Now, he may not be at Vianney next year because he's good enough, they're probably gonna get one of those big school link, or somebody's gonna take him and develop him, but, so get on Facebook. Get on for athletes from other countries that want to come over here.
We've got spare bedrooms.
yeah, and if you don't, we'll still take whoever, that's the thing, we're just trying to build yes, sir.
You guys have kids transferring, because the parents transferring jobs to different cities and towns. Do you get any new transfers? Basketball people who play more sports?
Very minimally, I think people are coming in and out of the districts without a doubt, but we don't see it on the basketball aspect. I'm also on the football coaching staff as well, so I would see it there as well. I would say within the last 2 years, we might have had 3 or 4 literally. It's not a drastic number. And I always thought, especially now that we're on HGTV and everything else like that, we might get an influx of people moving in and doing that, so we'll see if that happens, but to answer your question, no, not drastically.
Days only count by your schools now.
That's correct.
So you can practice right now.
Starting the week after, well, there's limitations, starting the week after spring break, which is next week, we can have 3 hours of practice the whole week. So I'll go 2 days, an hour and a half, 2 days out of the week to complete 3 hours a week. There's a lot of limitations, so other teams right now, when we talk about, I would say Jeff City schools, but Springfield schools are the ones I know the most about. They're already out competing in AAU circuits and playing across the nation and everything else. I think this year we'll have 3 or 4 guys that are actually playing AAU. Before it was always 1 or 0. That's just where we're at. Those are the cards we're dealt, so we got to play with it. I'm not complaining by any means. I'm here to change that atmosphere, but it's a challenge. It is certainly a challenge.
20 days per sport.
Per sport. Yep. So you have windows, like I said, the week after spring break, that's our off-season spring window that winter sports can practice. That's 3 hours a week for, I think it's 7 weeks. So quick, 21 hours we get to practice before we start off with our summer basketball.
Let's go to the transfer portal.
Yeah. So we can get people to offer some NIL money.
Yeah, but talking about our new conference, we have one private school in there, Elias, that can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so that's one of those things, I'd really like to see private schools have their own division in addition, instead of,
At least in state playoffs, I think.
yeah, state playoff, because, we played last year we beat Rolla in the first game of the districts, and then we played San Francisco, Georgia, which is a private school, and I mean, you can tell those kids play together 365 days a year, and that's, they just do it. They're in mission, but they don't follow it, I don't know. So anyway.
Anything else? Well, thank you guys, appreciate it. Grab a, ticket out of here. And just read the last 3 numbers.